Hello, this is librarian Jennifer Bone, and this is part 2 of the video about how to find a topic for your speech. When you're on the SWIC library webpage, and remember to access it, you can go to swic.edu and hover over Student Services to find Library or Community and find the library, and you land on this page. To get to the resource called Finding a Topic, scroll down all the way to the bottom of the library page, and you'll see in the right-hand column where it says Topic Guides, you can click on Finding a Topic. From this page, in our last video, we were looking at the black tile on the left-hand menu that said Find a Topic. We looked at these two resources, Credo Reference, as well as Opposing Views Resource Center. So in the part 1 video, we looked at those resources for you to use. The next one we're going to look at is this one called Newsbank. Newsbank can be helpful because it can give you real-life stories of people who are actually witnesses or experiencing some of the things you might be talking about. If you would be giving a speech about cyberbullying and you wanted to look at statistics for cyberbullying or actually find a personal narrative of someone who may have experienced it, you might want to look in a newspaper article, and that's what's located in the Newsbank resource. You can click directly on it. Remember, if you're coming from home, the first time you log in, you're going to be prompted to give your student ID number and your password. I've already logged in here so it can recognize who I was, and I was able to go right in. When looking for anything in here, of course, there is a search box right here at the front where you can type in anything and see what can be located. If you are looking for a specific topic idea, you can start by looking down the page, and one of the things you can do is you can start by either looking at the suggested topics tiles, or you can go to the quick links section. If you go to the quick links, you'll see there is a link that says Hot Topics. You can click on Hot Topics, and it's going to take you to some large groupings like subject categories like social issues, sports, business and economics. And when you click on one of these areas, it's going to give you some things that have been happening that you can read a little bit more about. This is for the month of October, and they have several things listed here. You'll see, I'm going to make this screen a little bit bigger, that over here on the right, you can pick your month from this drop-down menu. If I wanted to stay in October, I can look at all of the stories that have been listed here. If there's anything I'm interested in and I would be wanting to do a speech on it to get more information and read more on this topic for Tupperware filing for bankruptcy, I can click on this little hyperlink where it says Search this topic. I can click right here. And you'll see that it's going to give me a list of resources that discuss that particular topic, and they've popped those search terms right in the top right here. Now this search string is very beneficial to introduce you to. This is how to search in some of these resources. A lot of times when you're searching in Google, you can put your whole thesis statement in there or your whole topic idea, and Google can actually figure out what you're looking for and take out the junk words. When you're using library resources, they want you to identify the main words, and they're saying, do you want to find an article that talks about a particular company or a topic? You can just type that in specifically. So this one is looking for the word Tupperware, and then they say and that's a word that allows you to say, I would like to add another word to the search. I want it to find an article on Tupperware, and then either the word bankrupt or bankruptcy, and you'll see those are kind of listed right there. So it's almost like a little mathematical equation of how to build a search string so you can be the most successful by using the terms and or, because it's saying it can have either one of these words. You're going to be very successful when you're using the library resources. If you ever need help with how to type something in so you get the best search results, please don't hesitate to reach out to a librarian. Now for all of the articles that are coming up in here, you can see that you can click on the title. There is a small preview here. and then you can read the article here. It's going to highlight the words that you've typed in so it can show you how well it's matching. If you wanted to make it larger, get the citation, email it, print it, download it, all of those tools are right here at the top. So those are ways that you can take it with you. You can hit the back button or hit back to results. From your main list, if you wanted to change the sort order, right now it's putting the newest article at the top. If I want the best matching article, I can click best match, and then it's going to put a different article at the top, and this is going to be an article that has the words Tupperware and bankrupt or bankruptcy the most number of times. Now you'll see this first article is coming out of Australia. You have to think Tupperware is a global company. If you only wanted articles from the United States, you would come here on the left side and review all of the limiters that are available. If you only want a specific source type, you can select that here. If I want to do a source location, limit it to North America. And then if I wanted to limit it further to the United States, I could come back here and say just the USA. And then these are going to be the articles that are only from papers or news release like Associated Press located in the US. So that's a good place to go, especially to get specific examples for speeches when you're trying to draw your audience in. Always think that journalists are always trying to draw people in and have them click. So coming here to get those real life stories can be super valuable when you're trying to create a speech. Now we're going to go back to the page where we were looking at the finding a topic. So from this page where we were on finding a topic with these resources, underneath that there are browse web resources listed below. You'll see there's a procon.org webpage that you can go to. If you're looking for interesting speech topics, you can go to this JSTOR Daily. This has got some little more quirkier topics, and sometimes when you're giving a speech, it's hard to pick a topic to select. I'm going to make this screen a little bit bigger so you can see it. There is a hamburger menu on the left-hand side next to the JSTOR Daily. JSTOR is a company that we actually get articles kind of live in there. It's an article collection. We call it a research database, and they have a whole group of staff writers that write interesting stories about different subjects that kind of coincide with the articles that they have. You can look at the different areas by clicking on the hamburger menu right there. And then if you find a specific area that you like, I'm going to click on Performing Arts. You'll see that they're giving some suggestions, and you don't have to sign up at all to browse and to read. When I was looking at this the other day, I found it interesting they had this article that's talking about the history of air guitar. I never thought that that would be something that people researched or that you could do a speech about in college, that's the history of air guitar. But when you click on it, this is going to be an article written by one of the writers here for JSTOR Daily. And you'll see right here their name and credit can be given right here. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the article, you'll see that they actually do link to a specific article in this research database that we have. And you'll see it's linking to a 20-page article that was written in 2018 called Heir Apparent, Amplifying the History of Air Guitar, Air Bands, and Air Playing in the 20th Century. To read it, it's just one click away. It will be able to identify that you are a student from SWIC, and you'll have access to read this. And you'll see that you can print, email, or save right up here at the top. So it's a fun place to go to look at the things that are available. So don't discount using any of those resources so that you can come in and get access to those. Now we're going to kind of go back a little bit to the page, and then we're going to look at this resource down the page called 300 Questions. Now in 300 Questions, you're going to get a whole page of topics that you can kind of think about with article-based prompts, image-based prompts, and things like that. And you can click on any of these and it's going to give you information possibly from the New York Times and things like that, but just things to help you think through particular topics. So that is a fun list to kind of look at, that one that has 300 topics. And then we also have newspapers and magazines that you can browse. Now, if you know that you have a particular area that you like you're going into psychology, you're going to be an artist, you're going into the health field, know that all of these tiles have a specific focus and that you can come in here and click on them. And there are web pages that you can go to browse the articles that are being currently published out there in this particular field. We also are connected to the psychology area, or whatever particular area it is, for videos and podcasts. And then down towards the bottom of the page, you'll see that there is a section where we just alphabetically list some topics from that area. So here are psychology topics. We have the first list A through E, the second list F through M, the third list N through Z. These are all topics that relate to psychology that you might want to do a speech on. If you change over to sports, recreation, and leisure, we have the page set up in the same way where you can kind of look at these different areas, stream podcasts or videos from that area, and again, look at alphabetical lists that deal with sports, recreation, and leisure topics. So know that this is a free resource that you can click on at any time to kind of get some ideas of things that could help you. So this is the end of how to find a topic, and the next video will be on how to locate some additional articles and books in Zwick Library.